Thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this series of Spirit of Educators. The spirit of adult educators, whilst in many ways the spirit and qualities that would be expected of educators working with children and adolescents, there are some nuances associated with being an adult educator. Central here perhaps is that rather than being inherently more knowledgeable and experienced than their students, that adult educators are peers, i.e. equals to their students. Adult students will have their own experiences, talents, capacities and contributions that might well exceed those of the educator. Yet in the particular educational program, the educator may and would be expected to have specific knowledge, expertise and capacities related to their field of education that will be of benefit to the students. Alternatively, if the roles were reversed, the students will likely have a set of capacities and knowledge that will not be known by the educator. So, adult educators are more of peers and collaborators who have specific knowledge of a particular field, which may be greater than that held by the students whom they are teaching. In this way, the spirit of adult educator is perhaps premised upon 4 key qualities. The first of these is respectful engagement. This includes having the qualities of communication with students in ways that are associated with their capacities and readiness to engage with the content and process of the educational program. That includes valuing and encouraging the contribution of students and facilitating dialogue not only between the teacher and the students, but also amongst the students. Perhaps central here is a pedagogy that is not teacher-centric, but rather focused on student engagement and learning. The second quality is empathy and tolerance. Possessing the ability to understand the readiness of students to engage with the content and educational processes. Provide guidance and support to assist them bridge the gap between what they know, can do and value, and the intended outcomes of the educational program. Tolerance to diversity of opinions, perspectives and contradictory stances is a likely quality here. This is not to suggest a wholesale openness to all perspectives, however unfounded, but rather opening up a space for dialogue, discussion and consideration of views and practices as directed towards the intended outcomes of the program. The third quality is competence within the field. It's important for the educator to be perceived by the students as being competent within the field of education. That is, them being able to demonstrate the worth of the knowledge that they are sharing and directing students to learn through their own demonstrable capacities. Rightly, adult students can be quite critical audiences, and being able to justify and elaborate what is being taught and learnt are likely to be essential qualities for competent adult educators. This competence may well extend to having sufficient repertoire of educational activities and interventions that can meet the needs of students and the particular educational circumstances in which they are being engaged. Fourthly is facilitating the applicability of learning. Whilst all students want learning that is applicable, adult students most likely want the learning to be applicable to their personal, workplace and social circumstances. Consequently, adult educators' ability to make links and associations between what is being taught or otherwise provided through educational programs and to the applications beyond it are likely to be highly valued. This includes assisting students identify and make links to their own circumstances and practices. So, because the process of adult education is one of collaboration and guidance, some of the key elements of the spirit of that education are to be aware of the needs to address students' readiness, understand their interests and capacities, and to build upon those to be an effective adult educator. Thank you.